think our team chemistry is actually good now. We just boot camp now for almost a week, and we like playing together. And then playing at boot camp, even though maybe you don't get much better as a team than you would at home, you're still like socializing more, you're spending more time with each other, like overall. So I think like we're working together to win more.
It's tough to win more than Method Black does. I mean, when you look at them throughout the year, they have accumulated way more points than anybody thought would be possible. The real thing that has been elusive for them is results on LAN, and right now you want to see the results because the stakes are very high already. If you are able to pull down this, you go straight to the grand final. But when we were actually talking during that break, Healing said, it goes a little bit deeper than that. When you actually look at how important this matchup is between Wildcard Gaming and Method Black, especially knowing Cloud9 is in the lower side of the bracket, you're starting to make some predictions based off of how this series goes.
Yeah, I think Cloud9 is going to be a shark, and they're going to be someone that we're really watching. So whoever wins this series, it's looking great for them. But if you could drop down, I feel like there's a good chance one of these teams won't even make it to the grand final.
Well, who is going to pull ahead in this series? Wildcard Gaming versus Method Black. We're all tied up. Whoever makes it here is going to be able to get on match point, and the gates are now open.
Okay, Wildcard Gaming choosing to lead with that Windwalker Death Knight. Actually, Zeepai swapping to that Frost specialization, realizing they had a little more success with that last game. Since they had the counter pick, they were allowed to pick this knowingly that they were going to fight the same Mage Rogue matchup here. Slow start to the game so far. Blizzo getting full sap by Waz, looking to maybe get an opener here. Swaps the sap to Zeepai, full kidney onto Blizzo right now, trying to get aggressive here. Bash onto Looney, looking for the Cyclone. Chaz doesn't get it. Bring a piece. Good job by Blizzo denying that setup there. Full Sheep lands though. Ray of Frost being used there. Blizzo trying to kite away.
Yeah, Blizzo kiting away in the early stages of this game, and I think the Frost Death Knight is something interesting that we should talk about a little bit here. So a part of it is going to be the fact that the Mage Warlock is scary for the Frost Death Knight. They had full knowledge of the composition when they locked this in. The other thing is that the Frost Death Knight excels on the smaller maps. Now, Raikou doesn't have much space to work with, meaning that Zeepai will have uptime to work with that Delirium, to work with that Heart Stop aura, and the lack of self-healing the Frost Death Knight brings, we're probably not going to see that come into play in this game because we're expecting it to be shorter than Game 2.
Absolutely. I think the reason why Healing said he keeps saying that the Frost Death Knight is bad into these Mage Lock Druid compositions is because the Death Knight gets kited consistently, has no pressure when he's not attacking anything, he doesn't make any use of those cooldown reduction auras. When you're fighting something like this, it's much better. So Blizzard under a lot of pressure there, does get the Iron Bark before this bash does land. Chaz looking to follow this up with a full Sheep actually does land on Looney here, does not get anything out of that. Blizzo's still under so much trouble right now, does use the disarm on Waz, does fall now. Touch of Karma has been traded out. Almost nothing left for Blizzo right now except this diffuse magic, and the CC just keeps going.
Yeah, the Touch of Karma is currently active, but they could easily burst through that, as you say. He actually almost vanished it, was with a very close play there. If he managed to land the vanish on that, that would have thrown things into ruckus, I think, for Wildcard Gaming's defense. They used the trinket on the blind. As it is, the trades have been relatively fair, so both sides will be reasonably happy with this in the early stages. Chaz getting caught up in the bash right now. Looney just kind of trying to stabilize. As you said, very low on cooldowns right now. They need to kind of get some counter pressure going, maybe force Method Black a little bit more defensive.
Still lots of damage coming out of Method Black here. Great triple stuns coming out from Blizzo and Zeepai there, always ready at the time, realizing any chance they get to attack a target with that stun, they need to connect on the same guy. Kidney shot onto Blizzo does get disarmed though by Blizzo. Prince, we doing that good job by him trying to kite away from these Novas, knowing he's taking a lot of damage. And now Looney looking to maybe control Chaz. Actually is full mana getting bashed up right now. Is there going to be follow-up? Does use Ring of Peace there to stop that into the in-cap there. Blizzo still half HP right now.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, this map pick from Wildcard Gaming. You certainly can see that Blizzo's a little bit terrified as well, taking a fair bit of damage, but he's done a really good job kind of utilizing his portal in different positions. He's never too predictable. There's never really an opportunity for Raikou to position himself in a way that both lands the crowd control and lands the damage onto Blizzo. So really nice stuff. Chaz also playing this game much better than I think he did in Game 1. As I said, I was very critical of his mana bar in Game 1, but he's drinking early on the small map to make sure they don't fall behind as Dampling starts to build up. Blizzo once again a little bit low, but he's the one getting aggressive. Touch of Karma. They have to respect this Touch of Death.
Yeah, lots of damage there. Great triple sweep again. Looked like Wildcard was on the back foot, but with a great grip into a triple stun, instantly turning the pressure onto Raikou right now. Does get locked out there. Chaz looking for Cyclones, trying to stop some of this damage coming out right now. Does get the offensive clone onto Blizzo right now. Is Looney looking to maybe set something up here? Kidney shot onto Blizzo, Sheep onto Zeepai. Chaz looking to do something to Looney. Great smoke bomb by Waz, denying any sort of heals at all from Looney right now. Blizzo needs to get out of here.
Yeah, Blizzo able to pull away. That was actually the Oslos Vortex from Chaz, but it was 1 second too late. If he'd sucked him back into that bomb, would have been troubling times there for Wildcard Gaming. Probably would have had to use the Touch of Karma. Vendetta's being committed. Touch of Karma is available. Blizzo really doesn't want to hold on to that. He actually has to use it very low on health, fading a little bit, but this is going to be a reversal of damage. Now the Storm, Earth, the Fire, the elements combining in favor of Wildcard Gaming as they look to punch back against Raikou.
Yeah, lots of damage there. That was actually a very scary situation, but cheap shot onto Looney, no follow-up available from Raikou, shut down by Z-Pi there. Chaz looking to stop some of this damage with these Cyclones here. Full kidney onto Blizzo. Will there be any CC onto Looney? It is... Raikou is always looking for the setups from either Chaz to bash Looney, Waz to maybe cheap shot him, maybe blind him. He's very reliant on his teammates to get these sheeps, and that's why they got to work together so well. Blizzo, nice at double stun there, keeping the pressure rolling onto Raikou. The mana bar looking very, very good for the team of Method Black right now compared to Wildcard Gaming here. Also looking good cooldown-wise.
Yeah, both teams kind of stable, honestly. We're going to need dampening to separate these teams. We kind of knew that going into it. Such high-caliber teams. The European #1 versus the European #2. Very easily could be a BlizzCon final. Equally, Cloud9 could come up through that lower bracket. Really going to be watching them later today, see how they play out through the lower side. Method Black are the team looking to benefit in this situation. As we say, going deeper into dampening is kind of where they want to be so that they can land that kill onto Blizzard, just make it harder and harder for Looney, and Chaz has done a fantastic job keeping his mana high. He's at 90% right now, meaning that he'll be able to keep his team in the fight for much, much longer. Raikou not really having a great game in terms of offense. I think on damage right now, he's certainly the lowest on the 4 DPS, just because he can't really get those frostballs, or he can't make the distance that he could on Toll there.
Yeah, I just think Raikou's getting shut down so much on everything because they're just not getting enough pressure onto Blizzo here. But right now, here comes the pressure. Disarm onto Waz there, trying to keep some damage rolling. Full blind onto Looney, does trade out that trinket, gets the Iron Bark on this kidney shot. No smoke bomb available right now. Looney should be able to top him up if he gets some heals off here. Going for the Cyclone right now, doesn't get it. Waz all over Looney, trying to shut him down, trying to attack more than one target right now.
Yeah, Looney actually fakes, I think, both the counterspell and the step kick there. So beautiful plays from Looney in that situation. That also meant that Waz wasn't able to get uptime, and it means that Blizzo is now much easier kiting him. He's getting the pressure from that. You can see how these little mistakes, these little plays, or outplays even from Wildcard Gaming in that situation, can lead to a huge momentum swing in the game. And as dampening starts to build up, that is super impactful on the way this outcome will. Raikou dropping low. That means they have to play defensive. Chaz isn't able to push for bash Cyclones. He had to top off his mage. He spent a lot of mana doing that, and Wildcard Gaming are completely stable.
Wildcard Gaming and choosing, instead of trying to push the kill onto Raikou, trying to force maybe an ice block, they did go for the defensive drink, which made Blizzo port back to safety. Blizzo, a big part of why people say this matchup is so hard, the Windwalker Death Knight into Mage Rogue, is because it's so based on the Monk's survivability. Blizzo this entire game is making sure that he's never overlapping huge defensive cooldowns with Looney, such as the Iron Bark and the Fortifying Brew, making sure he's using his port on cooldown, making sure he's always dispelling those poisons and trying to spam that reverse harm to get as much healing output as possible to help out Chaz, or help out Looney.
Yeah, Raikou actually used his first ice block there before the Touch of Death, but Method Black are committing to Looney right now. He preemptively Iron Barked himself. He's in trouble. You can see Z-Pi, Blizzo, both of them full minds on defense, keeping Waz away. They use the grip, the blinding sheet, and now the leg sweep to make sure Looney's able to stabilize, hold on to that bark skin. Now they can look to get aggressive. Touch of Death is available. Raikou only has 1 ice block remaining, and the temporal shield was too early. Huge damage, but Chaz is free casting. He has the Iron Bark. Looks like he should be able to keep Raikou in the fight, but once again, mana looking good for Wildcard Gaming as they press on in game 3.
Good job by Chaz trading out that Iron Bark and Innervate to counter that big Touch of Death from Blizzo, but now turning the tides here. Full kidney shot onto Blizzo. CC coming on to Looney from Chaz. Blizzo porting back to safety, dispelling the poisons, making sure he's healing with no wound poison effect, in capping Chaz on the Cyclone there, looking to get back onto Raikou here as soon as possible once the DRs are gone. Boom, there they are. They're reconnecting right now, looking to shut him down, maybe to land some kicks. We'll see.
Yeah, clean Rogue Mage gameplay, as you say. Controlling those DRs is what Method Black are so good at when it comes to their offense. Love to see them push for a Mighty Bash play on Looney. You can see both Druids have their Mighty Bash available right now. Iron Bark comes through before it, though, so that will be mitigating damage during the kidney shot. Not available for the Vendetta, though, so Vendetta is going to be a play they look for. That was the Icy Veins from Raikou, so they bait out the Iron Bark. Now they're going to look for a huge swing. Touch of Karma is going to do nothing in these stages of dampening, and Blizzo needs to really respect that Vendetta because it's coming so soon.
This is is very, very scary. This is the absolute best case scenario for Method Black here. Was looking to get that full Kidney Vendetta, because since there's no Iron Bark available, it will be huge damage. Raikou just under so much pressure right now. In cap onto Chaz there, trying to turn it around right now. There's the full Kidney. Was choosing to hold the Vendetta until the next Kidney shot. Unfortunate for them that they're not able to capitalize on this no Iron Bark there. Full counterspell onto Looney. Was under a lot of pressure, getting cleaved down from the Fist of Fury and the Frost Death Knight damage right now. Looking to run at Looney, trying to maybe sap him out of combat here if he gets lucky. Unfortunately, it's not. Cheap shots him behind the pillar. Unfortunately, no follow-up CC will be had there. Looking to maybe get that Kidney shot onto Blizzo. Full offensive Cyclone from Chaz here. They really want to try to get a setup here, but it's going to be impossible to CC Looney when he's on that stun DR.
Yeah, I just feel like that it kind of fell through a little bit for Method Black there. They had counter pressure Wildcard Gaming. It forced Waz to vanish defensively. It forced Raikou defensive as well, and they just chose it wasn't the time to throw the Vendetta, and now Iron Bark's back available. They trade that out. They're staying aggressive. It is a close game though. Blizzo very low, does have access to the Touch of Karma, but they are also dealing a ton of damage on the side of Method Black. Chaz's mana is dwindling, both healers in fact, as we are going to another cutthroat finish.
This is a big opening for Wildcard Gaming. Was with no evasion or Cloak of Shadows available here. Maybe could be a potential very, very big kill target right now. I'd like to see Wildcard Gaming really start attacking him here, but they want to keep keeping the pressure onto Raikou here, trying to shut him down from getting these free polymorphs off, making sure the mage is not free casting. The second Raikou starts free casting, everyone can start dying here. Blizzo porting out of the smoke bomb, ports out of the anti-magic zone. Kind of a scary situation here. Lack of cooldowns. Good disarm by Blizzo onto Waz during this Vendetta here. Blizzo trying to run back into that anti-magic zone. Iron Bark traded out from Looney. Full Kidney onto Blizzo. Does pre-touch of Karma that. Great job by him there, saving so much mana, and so much damage is being transferred back onto Waz.
Yeah, Zeepai definitely with the anti-magic zone a little bit. I think he was expecting the Vortex to suck Blizzo back, but he actually preemptively rolled before transcendencing. So Blizzo was an absolute, he just played that insane. He faded out, played well against the Vortex, pre-touch of Karma on the stun. Couldn't have asked for better plays from Blizzo in that situation, but he is now down on cooldowns. This is going to be a close finish. Full polymorph on Looney. He cannot trinket before the blind. Blizzo's on the run. He's in so much trouble here, Pika.
Uh-oh, caught out, porting away, rolling away. Looney is in crowd control for the next 50 years, it's going to feel like for Blizzo here. Can he top himself off with these Vivifies and Reverse Harms? Zeepai doing such a great job gripping Waz away, keeping that Chains of Ice up right now. Blizzo, the only cooldown remaining is this Diffuse magic here. He needs to make sure that he does not get opened on by Waz behind this pillar. He could easily get soloed.
Yeah, it was such a scary situation. I really thought Blizzo was done there, but even on the small map, he finds the distance, he finds the exchange, and Zeepai is the MVP there as well with the Chains of Ice just mitigating movement. There was no way that Method Black could find that kill. It was so close, but now it is, you can really see how close these two teams are going to be matched. 34% healing reduction on both sides. Waz dropping low, doesn't have access to the evasion for a little bit, so he's actually going to have to retreat, which is the worst time because a full counterspell just lands onto Looney. They look for the sap play there off the re-stealth. They weren't able to find it. Full Iron Bark is connected before the Mighty Bash, but Blizzo is still in trouble. Reverse magic on all of this damage. The shadow from the flurry, but he gets the touch of death and he's looking to kill Waz.
Oh my goodness, Maldix all over Waz. Cloak of Shadow just comes back up. Full Kidney onto Blizzo. Blind Sheep onto Looney with no trinket available. Blizzo porting away with the Touch of Karma, realizing the kill is not ready. He needs to live for another 20 or so seconds before they get one more big damage setup that could be the end for Waz, using everything offensively. Offensive clone out from Looney onto Waz there. Great job trying to keep him low HP, trying to give his team a chance to win within the next setup.
Yeah, that was a really nice cyclone from Looney. I really feel scared for Blizzo here. I'm scared for everyone, to be honest, on the map. You can easily see Waz or Blizzo dying. You can easily see a cross kill. Once again, 40% healing reduction for the two teams to contend with. Blizzo's popping his cooldowns, use the leg sweep, he uses the Storm, Earth, and Fire. He has no defense left, so if Waz can just keep playing this dance, he's doing such a good job in this situation. He's just waiting for Kidney Shot each time, waiting out the Fist of Fury. He's the one that has the lead here. Iron Bark, the last line of defense, but Blizzo is falling so far behind.
Vendetta committed from Waz here. Blizzo realizing he ports away. Waz is all over with this full Kidney Shot. Zeepai is nowhere to be found. Caught polymorphs because of Raikou. Nice kick by Waz on Looney. Blizzo in so much trouble with nothing remaining. Mounting taking all over.
I do not think we could see a closer series here. Yes, we're seeing games going back and forth, but also every single one is just such a close finish. Zico, let's actually look at why.
Yeah, that was super crazy as well. Again, both Druids completely out of mana, multiple kill opportunities on both sides, but then in the end, of course, Waz, he plays that, like you mentioned, you know, just expertly kind of runs in and out, hit and run on that rogue, you know, just getting the pressure when he has the Kidney Shot. And then when it's his turn to kind of be on the receiving end of the pressure, then he's kiting, he's making sure that he doesn't get caught up in multiple leg sweeps. And right there, Looney gets caught up in a sheep there by Raikou, and then he trinkets out of that, gets the Iron Bark, but was a little bit quick there with the blind. I would have loved to see him wait there and then potentially try to capitalize and make a kill happen out of that, but instead they just shove it and they keep up the pressure. And then, of course, at the end here as well, Blizzo been kiting so well the entire match here. But at this point in time, it was with the Vendetta rolling there as well. And, of course, no touch of karma was used a little bit earlier right there. And that cross kick as well on Looney. Beautiful setup there from Method Black.
Now, I want to dive into the details here just a little bit. There was one particular moment, Pico, when you guys were acknowledging the fact that Iron Bark is not available, Waz has Vendetta, and he doesn't decide to use it. What do you think the reason is for holding on to that huge cooldown?
I think maybe they just couldn't get the setup that they wanted, because theoretically, if a Druid uses Iron Bark and the Rogue that they're fighting versus has that Vendetta available, it should be like death the next kill, because that full kidney shot with the 20% damage increase from Vendetta is usually so much pressure, especially with the Maledics flying in, that usually healers cannot recover from something like that. But unfortunately, we didn't see Method Black able to get that set up in time, because Wildcard Gaming was positioned properly enough and had other cooldowns to trade out, which allowed them to stay alive long enough.
Now, with the series going as close as they have been, Zico, do you think that we just are in a situation where everybody stays with the compositions that they've had thus far? Because we talked about it at the beginning of the series, but this has been a long series already, but these are two squads that have options if they want to use them, but it seems like they're both performing pretty well all the way up until the end.
I think from Method Black, we're still going to see the Rogue Mage Druid blind locked for the next match, but I could see Wildcard swapping things up here. They've been going, between the Frost and the Unholy. I think map is going to be a big factor, and if I had to guess, I would say we're going to a small one next game.
Would you agree with that, Healing Set? Do you think we're going to be taking it into close quarters?
Yeah, I think so, and I think there's also going to be a point where Wildcard Gaming says that the DK Windwalker, because Waz just played so brilliantly in Game 3, maybe it isn't the answer in this matchup. Maybe on this next map they'll still lock it in if it is a small map, but I think in Game 5 they should bring it to the Warrior Mage. They've always tested Method Black, and it always seems like these Rogue Mages struggle the first couple of games against that comp just because of how scary and volatile it can be.
I mean, we've brought this up in other series in this tournament already. You look at the teams that have the potential to take down BlizzCon, and they're squads that can make adaptations throughout the series. Method Black, this is textbook for them. I mean, we see that even in online play. It's not like they come out every single matchup and just steamroll everybody. Sometimes they're going to take a couple of L's before they figure out exactly what they want to do into a composition, but they're the team that does have that resolve. They can figure out a game plan, and they can start pulling down win after win. The question is Wildcard Gaming going to throw another curveball here? Will we see them actually break out Blizzo on the Warrior before we jumped into the series? The entire thing that we heard from all the players is how good of a warrior he is. If you enable him to play it on the BlizzCon stage, it definitely can be a recipe for success. Tight quarters, though, is something that we're going to see. We already did hear Zico say that he expected that. Do you think that Wildcard might pull out the Warrior?
I think Wildcard is definitely rethinking if they want to try again, if they want to try the Windwalker DK, because they still are in the upper bracket. If they lose this, it's not technically the end of the world for them. They still have a chance to come back and fight back. So I would honestly like to see the Warrior Mage come out here, because everyone, like they said, Blizzo is the absolute best warrior in the world, and they're forcing him to play an ult, which is his Monk. And although he's doing great on Monk, I think that maybe going back to that composition that they have more games on, they're more comfortable with, even though maybe the matchup might not be as good on paper, it only matters what happens in the arena. So
I think it's also really important to keep in mind that they're probably relatively confident on the side of Wildcard Gaming of what they're going to do into Cloud9. So they feel like maybe they can drop down. They feel like if they do get to the grand final, they also have a very good position. When you do look on the side of Method Black, I'm assuming that they don't feel as confident in that matchup against Cloud9, and that makes this matchup all the more important for them. I mean, you got the 3 top dogs potentially in the region. We know anything can happen, on the stage, but we know that anything can happen here at BlizzCon. When you look at those 3 teams, if you don't have an answer, what are you going to do if you meet them in the grand final? So this is a very important matchup. We're going to get some insight into what this team can potentially do, and there it is. We're going to see Zpi and Blizzo sticking to their guns here. What's the small map going to enable them to do?
I mean, the small map's definitely going to help them to get uptime. Actually, Zpi is going to swap over to the Unholy specialization, which is a little bit interesting because we've been talking about how great the Frost was, but even on Tolveron Arena, which you'd think is the great map for the Mage Druid, I feel like Method Black had a fantastic game there as well. The Unholy Death Knight almost pulled through for them, so I still like the pick here from Wildcard Gaming. It's really going to come down to how are they able to play this in terms of offense. They need to keep Chaz low on mana, and if Waz has a game as good as he did in that last one where he was diving in and out on the kidney shots, I think it's going to be so tough.